Okay, here's another game of Infinite Crisis coming your way, this time with Swamp Thing, Avatar of the Green. And I don't know where I'm going because we couldn't figure out where the Aquaman was going before lock-in, so... You can see the enemy team on the top, my team on the bottom. Both have Swamp Thing, but otherwise we're unique. I have to wonder if the Superman knows what he's doing.
Criminals beware.
Alec
I won't
Holland, no
hold
more.
back.
Now, I am the Swamp Thing.
Teleport to Lost Sector closer to the
Oh,
match
he's
begins in
on the move
30
already.
seconds.
Stupid. So, he is going to get annihilated. I can already call that now.
The match begins in 10 seconds.
Sun, water, and dirt.
Match initiating.
He's in.
Drones in 30 seconds.
I go where the green bids. I stand against the
10
rot.
seconds. Jungle creatures online in 10 seconds.
So we're going to have to sacrifice the big camp.
Drones operational.
For the Parliament
Jungle
of the
creatures.
trees.
Phasing complete.
Oh my god. He's jungling without an item, he has no
Oppose
sustain,
the
he has no
natural
communication.
order.
I don't know.
Where am I needed? Water
So I'm gonna want an
strengthens
attack
my
armor
roots.
gambit. And I'm probably gonna try to poach camps whenever I can.
In my grasp.
Last blood.
There is no escaping the Batman.
My reach is everywhere.
Yeah, it sucks that I don't have any cameras.
Dirt reinforces my resolve. I am not afraid.
Okay, you got that.
There is still more to give.
Back to base.
Please tell me that's not Aquaman in there.
Something disturbs
Only
the
a
green.
king is fit to rule justice.
For the green.
Our top turret is under attack. Our bottom turret is under attack.
Returning to
Sun replenishes. I must return to the base.
Okay. This will give me a chance to refill my
Green has
vials.
no border.
And I do need to get my shrub on the raider.
Who's died with her? Come closer. I have given so much.
Looks like we have mirrored builds. Oh god, he went Coda Blade. And I'd like to say I'm just being dramatic, but there's no sustain there. He's going to lose a prolonged fight. We've been fighting 2v3 for how long now?
All will be made right.
Wouldn't be bad if I were Harley or someone who had a heal
Power relays will
move,
be
but
operational in
I
10
don't.
seconds. Unaligned power relays operational.
Dirt reinforces my resolve. Sun, water,
The enemy has captured a power relay.
in case I need to warp in there, I now have the ability to. And
Captured
Aquaman.
a power relay.
Power relay control.
Gonna help myself to the jungle camp here then.
Our top turret is under attack.
for the Parliament of the Trees.
Let's see, their Swamp Thing has Healing Wave.
Our bottom turret is under attack. Enemy defeated.
Where am I needed? Dirt reinforced. Behold, the Green's warrior king. I will find balance.
Enemy defeated.
Heading home.
I stand against the rock. Command the earth. In my grasp. I am not afraid.
Okay, for the rest of the game, I'll be
My
doing
reach
this
is
after
everywhere.
the fact. We are now going post-game commentary here. So, the bat has healing vials. Sadly, he doesn't actually have the will regen ones or even the peptide.
Something
That's
disturbs
the combination.
green.
As a result, he's going to really be low on will if he spams. But the good news is, between the two of us, we're not actually
Dirt
burning through too
reinforces
much
my
will.
resolve.
And right there, Swamp Thing did a heroic body block, so I
Uphold the
couldn't
natural
shoot the
order.
beetle.
Our top turret is
So if you
under
notice that glistening aura around the Swamp Thing, he upgraded his gambit to the 3rd tier. So it does give defensive stats to him and the beetle. I don't know what the radius is exactly. The thing is, they are no longer getting the bonus gold from lane, meaning the longer we can draw this out, the more success we'll actually have. And the other
There is still
nice part is
more
with the
to do.
Superman down here, they're sharing the gold 3 ways, and the XP 2 instead of 2 ways like Beetle and I are
online
doing.
in 10 seconds.
Sadly, my spells are not really, I'll be blunt, they'll never really do that much.
Radar.
The thing
Phasing
that we will
complete.
have going in our advantage, though, is that I can magnified utility. That'd be the best way to describe it.
I have given
So, there's one thing I'd say is better at landing the E's than I am, but I'm much better with the Q.
Unaligned doomsday device.
And once you connect the second Q, of course, the E is a guaranteed hit.
I go. I must return to the
Doomsday
base.
device activation.
So, right here my vials are empty.
Enemy
We can leave
power
Aquaman if he
unlocked
doesn't get
in 10
blown up,
seconds.
but bit of a stretch. So I want Diana's bracers
Allied
first and
power
foremost
relay
because
unlocked in 10
Beetle does
seconds.
physical and true damage.
Enemy power relay unlocked.
His spells, of course, are the physical component as well as his auto attacks, and the true damage comes from his passive.
Our bottom turret is under attack.
If you're not familiar with how he works, his passive does true damage after using an ability or his W. The W reactivates it. So while in flight form or Jaime Rays, whatever you want to think of it, his true damage does bonus damage based on how healthy the target is. So you basically punish them for having high health. When you're actually in melee form or beetle form, whatever you should think of it, that's when the reach directive, the passive, turns into an execute, doing increased damage based on how much health the enemy is missing.
All will be made.
Ah, I hit him. I didn't remember that part. So one of the things that I would like to do to make my skill shots more accurate is I want the Atlantean Royal Seal.
I stand against the
I
rot.
always thought that the first level was 500 credits. I make that mistake in the Shazam videos and probably the Atomic Green Lantern, since that's an awesome item on all three of these characters.
Water.
Basically, the AP or power damage tanks, that would be the appropriate term in this game,
I
all
will
of
fucking
them
balance.
really benefit from having that seal. Gives them the stats that they want, both the little bit of power damage, a little bit of health, and then more importantly the utility slow. I also built on Gaslight Joker, but it's been a
My
while since I
reach
played.
is everywhere.
So right here I'm kind of banking on my passive, canceling out some of Beetle's damage. I am getting him to burn a little bit of his will. I will
Where am
regen
I?
more than he will because of the Diana bracers. And right there he was in a bit of a sticky spot, but he got out of there just in time so that my knock-up actually knocked him to safety instead of really dooming him. So right there, Aquaman gave up a kill. You'll be able to see the endgame stats, but since it's post-game commentary, you'll have to pause to get all the finer details. I'll explain more in the actual description
The green
and by
has
description, I do mean the
no
video
border.
description that you find just underneath this video. So one thing I can talk about real quick is that the GasBat apparently is familiar with the Beetle. He described him as being kind of good. To be blunt, I'm not impressed. We did get first blood off of him, and you'll see him do all sorts of interesting things, like you can describe it. And, well, you'll just see as things unfold. So, Diana bracers reduce Beetle's damage. They don't do anything for true damage, but nothing actually does. See if I actually landed the Q on the Beetle since I'm looking at a smaller screen than this.
Strengthens the green.
But I took down the Beetle, and now Aquaman has arrived to give us reinforcements. This is when I kind of wish I had that Amulet of Isis or whatever the Shirelia's equivalent of this game is. But then again, now I'd be hoping Aquaman doesn't really screw it all up for us.
Do not struggle. Water strengthens my roots. I have given so much. Come closer.
Yeah, based on the way he's talking, that definitely is the genuine Alan Allen from 52. It's not Alan Morse.
There is still more to give.
Heading back.
of those things I guess you don't really notice while playing because you're more focused on last hitting, enemy position on maps, and all the good fun stuff, but during those moments, while you're doing post-game commentary, all of a sudden it stands out.
Disturbs the green.
Our top turret has been destroyed.
So that marker on me means that Beetle's passive is accessible,
Allied power relay
and sadly, the GasBat positioned poorly, he couldn't get to safety. The Swamp Thing does dodge my Q, and I'm in a bit of a bad spot here. But they don't have the power to kill me quite yet. The Swamp Thing, just like me, is a utility tank,
For the Parliament of the Tree.
so he's not going to have much damage. Meanwhile, Superman and the Beetle are both dealing physical damage, which I have the bracers to deal with, and I will be getting Suit of Sorrows.
I must return
New power
to the base.
relay operational in 30
If you're wondering about the
seconds.
Marauder Ring, I'm going to be holding on to that for a little while longer.
Radar online in 10 seconds.
Since I get a much lower return for just flat out selling it, I was thinking just hold on to it, try and pick up a jungle camp now and then.
Power relay.
Maybe I can actually get the thing to pay itself off.
Phasing complete.
Bit of a stretch. But still, the stats are decent. Even if I'm not making use of the one passive, I still have the power damage and the health I believe it gives. I forgot what all the ring gives.
Ally defeated.
But I have both of those so that I... Oh yeah, I do make use of it right here. So sadly, the whole utility tank thing really comes into play here where I can't really take this too quickly. And due to the wounds that the Raider is going to inflict on me, it will cut into my passive to give it a chance. Luckily, the bat was paying attention
Elite
since there was no
drones
fear
enabled in
of
top lane.
steel. I didn't have to burn the detonate.
We have defeated
And on the topic of
Raider.
powers, had I been able to take something that's actually kind of legitimate instead of the detonate, like say cameras, psychic assault, stuff like that, we
All
could
will
have
be
gorged
made
ourselves on
right.
that Beetle. Superman's going straight into Lobo Chains, without finishing his actual jungle item.
Against the rocket.
So sadly, Superman
Dirt
does have
reinforces
quite
my
a bit of
resolve.
mobility in his moveset, which makes it a little tricky to land skill shots on him when in open areas like this. When we're actually skirmishing in the jungle, then things change And here they have me, but I wanted to deal enough damage for Batman to finish off the Beetle.
Enemy defeated.
The way things looked, he was going to be their big carry, but the way things actually played out, it's going to be more of Superman. So the GasBat gets away, we have 4 bot,
The enemy's
well,
top
3
turret
bot
has
and a
been
corpse.
destroyed.
Turret destroyed.
And just like that, they took the top lane. So here I can go ahead and pick up the first level of the Suit of Sorrows. I wasn't really in any rush to pick up the final tier of the bracers because, well, let's face it, in terms of CC, Superman's breath isn't really that much. Beetle, I don't think he has any
To be
CC
an
at all.
avatar is to know sacrifice.
It can help you with Swamp Thing's Q, but I don't think it does anything for the
The
E.
truth died with her.
So, just a bunch of technical stuff that may not stand out to the first-time viewers. So, I got to pick up a jungle camp real quick, and now I can go back into lane. It does help me by giving me a little bit of personal gold, while still allowing me to get some use out of my,
I
detonate.
go where the green bids.
So, while I am kind of playing support here, I am trying to transition into the big nightmare tank. And you'll see how scary the Swamp Thing can be as the game progresses. I don't remember if I mentioned it before, but his passive allows him to heal from a certain big hit. To explain that better,
Where
he
am I
is
needed?
really, really good against assassins, because when they deal that big upfront burst, he can actually heal that back. So you want to survive what they throw at you, and from there, just while their stuff's on cooldown, you make their lives hell.
I will find balance.
So on the topic of making lives hell, Beetle's passive makes it so that while he's in his ranged form, he's more dangerous when I'm healthy. When he goes melee, he's dangerous when I'm low. So right there when he went in melee form, that's why I jumped on him. He didn't have a single prayer. And we got to take down their Swamp Thing. I think upgrading the Gambit this early was a colossal mistake on his part. And we're going to make him suffer for it.
Sun, water, and dirt.
Okay, things went quiet there because I was trying to remember I was trying to identify all those icons on the top, because one thing that I learned about after the game is that there are hidden passives in this game, like in League of Legends. So when the Justice League is assembled, they are stronger than normal. That's just one of the hidden passives that are actually there. And since Superman was around, I was wondering, is that one of the reasons why he was stronger than normal? But I don't think there's enough Justice League members here to trigger that bonus. As far as I know, it's just him. But anyway, right here I can unload the Marauder Ring. From here, I'm looking at the options open to me, and the Kryptonian War Armor does make me more mobile. It's also going to deal with Stargirl's poke. Her arriving here was actually a good trip on her part, because I'd been itemizing specifically for Beetle's physical damage and technically Superman's too. But now that I have the War Armor, once I put another point into that, she'll be much more manageable.
Radar. Online in 10 seconds.
Sadly, I'm only going to take advantage of my teleport skill once or twice, I think. It has a really, really long cooldown, and I prefer to use the plants for vision since I don't really have a cannon. And Beetle, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but I'm more than happy to punish him.
I am not afraid.
GasBat kind of promised me a strong enemy, and, well, I guess I overestimated the Beetle. To his detriment. So right here I have even more regen. It's going to be harder and harder for Beetle to actually poke me down. Stargirl, on the other hand, with her family heirlooms, not so much of a problem. And sadly, since I don't have the Marauder Ring right now, that means I don't deal as much damage to this thing. Good news is Joker and GasBat were nearby, and I can go ahead and use the detonate to secure that for the team. So all three of us split the gold, and that's going to help Joker since he's kind of behind. And I guess Joker didn't notice Swamp Thing's plant there. I don't know if our plants can see one another. Somehow I doubt it.
For the green sun replenishes my body.
So I fired the vine over there, hoping maybe I can catch Beetle, but luckily Joker knew out his blink move and used it to get to safety. Sadly, not all the moves seem to work like that. Joker's did.
Green.
As for right here, we don't really have eyes on the enemy, and we have a real deficiency in terms of vision.
All will be
But I
made
took the opportunity
right.
to upgrade the Suit of Sorrow so that I can start reflecting damage. That is what's going to allow me to really turn the fight on Beetle. As for the enemy here, neither of us can really hurt one another, but we can be annoying. So right there is
For the
literally a hit and run.
parliament of the trees.
If the two of us actually tried to slug it out, we'd be sitting there for like 30 seconds before one of us probably gets down to half health. And right there you can see how dangerous Stargirl actually is. So due to the shortage of CC, we couldn't actually keep people trapped in Joker's ult. And there's only 3 of us here while there's 4 of the enemy. It would have been a 4-on-4, but Batman took a lot of damage early on. Good news is we got GasBat far enough ahead to where he can beat Beetle in a straight-up fight. And the other thing that's actually working in our advantage is if we can get a fight here in the shadow, Batman's passive will activate, and then we can actually potentially steal one. So without my cosmic staff, I'm not really going to be dealing too much damage. My contribution is pretty much entirely
Where am I
CC.
needed?
Enemy power relay unlocked in 10 seconds. Allied power relay unlocked.
Don't want to pass
Enemy
those
power
up.
relay
And
unlocked.
we have Joker. We're still kind of light on
The
reinforcements.
rot.
So right here I pop Warrior King, Batman engaged, and Star Girl goes down.
Enemy.
You are claimed by the green.
Right there, Crypto got rooted, but I think he has the means to escape. Yeah, his bone. Oh, never mind. So right there we popped his Rosal Gold Robe. And Batman doesn't have the damage just yet to secure that. And I'm going to be going down again, but I managed to hold them off long enough for Joker to secure that. So that's going to give us quite a bit of pressure for the near future, and definitely worth it. So right there it looked like they were staying in Joker's ultimate, and
An enemy
he's
is
really
dominating.
behind, so he can't really contribute DPS just yet. Meanwhile, Aquaman is on the business end of the Warrior King, and Superman secures it for them. So this is extremely dangerous for GasBat.
Our bottom
You can
turret
see
is
the
under
enemy
attack.
starting to move in to
We've
pick him
captured a
off.
power relay.
He does manage to get it luckily, and it's a huge asset for
Elite
us.
drones enabled in top lane.
Sadly, they did just pick off our little
Our
sentry
bottom turret has been
that was
destroyed.
roaming the urban jungle.
I am not
And our
ready to
limited
join the
vision is even
Parliament
more
of
deficient.
Trees. I am not afraid.
I have detonate up, and since I can't exactly just cast it on an enemy character, I either have to have something nearby them to use it, or just use it here.
Water strength.
Right there, that gave me the level,
Online in 30 seconds.
and I guess I'm holding on to detonate for Raider.
My reach is everywhere.
Or I'm going to use it to open the Doomsday device, one of the two.
Raider online in 10 seconds.
Attack.
I will find balance.
Raider.
Aquaman doesn't really have any business being over there. He does a lot of questionable stuff. And the good news is we're now so far ahead that I don't have to necessarily burn detonate to secure that.
Uphold the natural order.
And right here we're scrambling to get over there.
The enemy has defeated the
The
Doomsday, Guardian.
Guardian.
The enemy has taken the Doomsday device.
So I hesitate here by not picking that up, and as a result, Beetle gets out of there just before I can hit him with the vines. Had I been able to actually connect that,
An enemy
he
is
would have ended up giving me the Doomsday device. I would have been prying it out of his cold dead fingers, literally. So Star Girl is out of position, Warrior King activates. And right here, Joker and I just have to cut down Swamp Thing. There was no way for him to reach Joker once he blinked away, because I'd just CC him in place, and then Joker could hit him from a distance. That whereas Joker recalled on a spot that was most likely warded. I mean, in general, since Superman bombed his ass, clearly was. And yeah, there goes our power carry.
Turret destroyed.
So Beetle went ahead and dropped that on the one tower, and here is our... So right here I intend to teach Beetle just how out of his league he actually is.
Come closer.
enemy power relay unlocked in 10 seconds.
The
So he went melee form for the speed that goes with it, but it really does nothing for him when I have my vines to slow him and then root him in place.
It is now time to rest.
So just like that, I did duel their carry, if you even want to call it a duel, since he didn't really have a prayer. And if you're wondering how that was so easy, that's Suit of Sorrows with Diana's
I must
bracers.
return to the base.
He loses health for attacking me, plus the damage I inflict on him. And I have another fight, but luckily Warrior King is up. So, where did Batman go?
The green has no border.
Okay, Batman's here now. I can activate Warrior King for health, but it's looking like I'm already throwing in the towel. I was trying to keep track of who used what cooldown to determine whether or not the fight could be salvaged.
Connection to the green weakens.
Looks like I just said, screw it, I'm gonna take ours.
For the parliament of the tree.
So, going back to what I was saying a moment ago, I had the Diana bracers for healing. Suit of Sorrows allows me to trade with him because he takes damage for hitting me. The Atlantean Royal Seal means whenever I land a skill, he's going to be slowed, which allows me to follow up the other Vine or the Fist or anything I so choose. And of course, the nice thing about the Kryptonian War Armor is that it allows me to actually just keep up with him in terms of speed. It's a movement speed item that allows me to compensate for the speed he gets in his melee form and just the mobility he has in his flight form.
Our power core is under attack.
So we're taking damage from the bottom, but Aquaman's cleaning that up for us. And right here is my sad attempt for a rescue mission. You can see how that played out. So right here we have the GasBat. I'm not entirely sure if we could have beat them in a straight-up fight there, but we fight back. Our Batman is much further ahead than their Beetle, and we need to exploit that in order to... Sadly, Stargirl is here now, and I still only have the Kryptonian War Armor for defensive stats. She easily takes down Aquaman, which is no surprise. And Joker has arrived.
I must return to the base.
Enemy defeated.
So that's their Swamp Thing down. Beetle came from behind to pick off Joker, or no, he picked off Batman while Crypto got Joker.
Radar. Online in
So I
10
left the
seconds.
tree there with the intention of warping back. I can wave clear with my vines and my fist. Worst come to
My
worst, I can
reach
always
is
tank.
everywhere.
It's still the Stargirl that kind of scares me.
Doomsday device activation in 60 seconds. Our top target.
Sadly, Superman is just one target too many. Batman shows up, but he hasn't helped too much before this, so his overall contribution is going to be pretty minimal.
I am not afraid.
I have to definitely admit that Crypto is pretty annoying with how mobile he is, plus he can do the whole AoE shield thing. I need to actually look at his numbers
Uphold the
because
natural order.
I don't know what exactly the drawback is to him other than maybe just a lack of kill power.
Doomsday device activation in 10 seconds.
So Aquaman's on the flank.
Been destroyed.
Right there I managed to connect to the Beetle. See, Superman took down Batman. And Crypto is here.
The rot.
So right here, melee Beetle is kind of dangerous, but I knocked him up inside of the Joker ult, so he didn't really have a prayer.
You have been defeated.
But I tanked as much as I could. GasBat has arrived, and I don't believe he gets Superman. So we can see here that he has Huntress's crossbow, the Coda Blade, but he doesn't actually have the Type 9 velocity implants. So he doesn't have the movement speed to actually keep up with Superman. And it's just simple as that. That's how Superman gets out. So for a while now we have not been laning me and I don't need the gambit. I can go ahead and sell that, and I can pick up the Cosmic Staff.
Ally power relay unlock in 10 seconds.
Nice thing about this is that it's going to give me CDR so I can cast more skills, gives me power to actually put more punch
Ally
behind my
power
hits, my
relay
spells.
unlocked.
And then it also gives me the burn effect to cut through their
Enemy
Swamp Thing
power
and their
relay
Superman.
unlocked in 10 seconds.
Not to mention that the way Swamp Thing's passive works, the whole Grievous Wound aspect of the
We've
Cosmic
captured a
Staff
power
is
relay.
very, very impactful this game.
Enemy power relay unlocked.
To be an avatar is to know sacrifice.
The enemy has captured a power relay.
So right there we have the second tier. Bad part is Stargirl has arrived and Crypto's with her. So Batman was really screwed from the get-go. Right here I was hoping I could catch someone who overcommitted, but they just wanted the control point, which is the smart thing to do.
The enemy has captured a power relay. Elite drones enabled in top lane.
So top is now going to be getting more pressure, and it's the lane that still has its tower.
You have defeated an enemy.
So Superman's little speeding bullet didn't accomplish as much as he'd have hoped. Beetle goes down, and GasBat is going to be able to get to safety. And right here, every single spell I cast is going to just whittle away at them. I still don't know if the vines, like right now when we were waiting for the second vine to connect, if that still procs the Cosmic Staff's damage over time, because that would really be overpowered. So Superman's going to be able to get away because I'm not fast enough to keep up with him without burning my speed.
Return to the sun.
And then the other problem is that his allies there did have slows to get me. So Stargirl decided for one reason or another to try to save Crypto. Really bad choice for her health, and I wanted to make that
Crime
clear.
doesn't pay.
She should have said goodbye to the pooch and just
Look
saved
there.
herself.
The truth died with her.
So Batman used Consume to open the door for us, and it's not ideal for me to tank this just because I'm so low. The Raider, the Doomsday Guardian, does inflict a Grievous Wound type effect on me, so I don't get the regeneration from Diana's bracers.
We have taken the Doomsday device.
I have the Doomsday device.
Our top
So I think my final item is Mirror Master's Prism, so I can deal with Stargirl finally. Last item, yes, but I've been doing so well at avoiding her that I could afford to delay it that long. So there's less than 10 minutes in the game, and you also have to remember some of it is my post-game study on the stats and builds and stuff. So Batman was really reckless here and got him killed, and GasBat's in an awkward spot.
All will be made right.
Since Superman pretty much has everything on their team, I wanted to make sure that he did not survive this time.
ally is relentless.
That's why I don't like the Ra's al Ghul robe. You're sitting duck there, and
I will find balance.
eventually the enemy has no trouble cutting through it. It's like it's not even there. So right there I got to knock them up while we're fighting the Joker's ult, and as long as I can keep them there, eventually we are going to win the fight. There's just no maybe about it. So right here the Doomsday device went down. Unfortunately we couldn't get it to the power core. I really didn't want Aquaman to have
Ally
that,
power
but
relay
yeah.
unlock in 10 seconds. An ally is ferocious.
So right there GasBat made a mistake in turning for a moment, and that got him killed.
Ally power relay unlocked.
You can see that he can definitely last a little while against them, but he has his limits. The good news is these two clowns don't actually have the power to kill him through the Ra's al Ghul. That's one small mercy there, but it's still an item on cooldown for any future fights. So right there, the fist knocked him a little bit further to safety, potentially stopping Crypto from doing
Enemy power
anything.
relay unlock in 10 seconds. We've captured a
And
power
GasBat
relay.
gets to safety. And while all this is going on, Batman does secure our one relay.
Enemy power relay unlocked.
So the final battle is going to be coming up pretty soon. I'm not going to spoil how this one ends. Obviously, since I'm Swamp Thing, I can't backdoor it. There's none of that. Get the Doomsday device, drop it on the core, solo it while everyone's not looking. All the fun stuff, you know? So right here, as long as Batman has a Coda Blade, he can disable Swamp Thing's passive. Problem is, Superman, Speeding Bullet, yeah. And if you look in the bottom lane, you'll notice the GasBat is pushing out, Joker is nearby him. Aquaman's heading to meet them while I'm still standing here on the defensive.
Sun, water, and dirt.
So I dropped a tree there in the hope that if they tried to backdoor it, I could just teleport in and then intercept them. In the meantime, I wanted to go help Joker and Aquaman, and Joker kind of wasted his ult there. If you notice, Batman's halfway through the lane. We now have to recall him because Goon Squad's
I
incoming.
have given so much.
And there's Swamp Thing. And we really don't want to fight here because, for one, we're down a man, and two, Joker wasted his ult.
I am not afraid.
I popped the detonator there so that we could catch the Man of Steel. And that was just really awkward for him. I got to stop him in place, so I got to slow him so Joker could stun him, and I could root him, and then knock him up. And their most fed guy down. So right there, I almost knocked Stargirl to safety, but I had the slow and the follow-up to secure it. So Crypto down. I have no idea why he has the Rosal Bull Row, but he's a small fry. Beetle down.
Where am I needed?
Right here, I wanted to come around and see if maybe we could catch him if he's running away, but I don't know how he left exactly. Like I said, he's the small fry in the lake. Not really worth our time or effort. So with the super drones up top, we don't want to push that lane.
I go
And not to
where
mention
the
they still have all
green
those
is.
towers up there. Their weakness is the bottom lane. Luckily, here, I'm kind of glad to see Aquaman, but even better we have the GasBat behind him.
My reach is everywhere.
Without my detonate, I can't solo the raider. I actually need help, but we have a small window to actually try to get some damage on their power. If you notice, Swamp Thing went down, Joker is pushing in over there. And here comes our first wave of drones.
Something
And I don't need to attack the core so much as just provide cover for those that actually are going to. Now they're up, we need to kind of fall back. We don't want to throw it away at the last minute, but we can see the raiders up. I now have detonate. And while all that was going on, Joker got the top through the super drones. Also gotta whack that. Don't want anyone porting in behind me. Now, I don't know what type of damage Raider does, or even if it's reflected through Mirror Master's Prism or the Suit of Sorrows. Key thing I just know is Cosmic Staff, Atlantean Royal Seal. I do have a little bit of bite to me, but I still have to rely on the detonate for the majority. So we lost two people there. Looks like it's Joker and GasBat that are still up, and they're chasing Joker.
Doomsday device activated.
Back to base.
Forward.
If we lose this control point, then it gets really bad for us, because then we have to worry about the super drones in both lanes.
Captured a power relay.
Relay captured.
As long as we can hold on to that one, the enemy does have a weak spot in their bottom lane for us to exploit. Right there, I was trying to get some vision to see if they were in there. And right now we actually know where they are, because if you look at the flashing relays on the map.
I must return to the base.
Power relay.
And I wanted to recall call to finally get Mirror Master's Prism highest level, and I could afford to do so because of the
enabled in top lane.
tree that I left, the husk, inside of the Doomsday device so I could warp in need be. Well, it looks like that thing didn't last. And right here is the end. So Joker's in position, there's the Beetle.
Died with
And right here we have the Joker ult zoning them. We have half their team on one side, the other half on the other. So while they did beat the Doomsday Guardian, they were still not really in a very desirable position. So there's this Man of Steel. He has the Doomsday device, and right now my job is to just keep him away from GasBat. If you look, Batman is soloing their core. And unfortunately for Superman, stopping him is totally within my means.
connection to the Greek.
And just like that, we held them off. Superman ulted the wrong guy, and we win. So you'll have to pause it for the stats here since post-commentary. But I was level 2 when this started. So, Swamp Thing. You can see that I have the most assists. I'm off from the least amount of deaths, but I wanted to take the damage, so not a big deal. As for this, you can see how much damage I did exactly. I was number 3 on the team, beating both Aquaman and Batman. A bit disappointing since I'm the freaking tank. And you can see their various numbers. So Superman had a decent score, he just couldn't follow up and he made a couple bad choices, like ulting Joker at the very end. But if there's anything else, I'll post that in the description. I'm the Hero of Light, thanks for watching, and goodbye.